Hello, it is Friday, March 24th, 2023. I'm Chris Remo, and welcome back to the New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. We've gone through a whole week of themes now, so it's time for the first of two themeless puzzles for the week, the Friday crossword. And this themeless edition of the Daily Solve has been brought to us by Kathleen Quinn, Cortidiophile, Overfull Hitbox, and, as always, the invaluable Timothy Mark and the indomitable Shoalmaster. So thank you so much to the five of them, benefactors of the Daily Solve Patreon campaign, for their generous support in bringing us this series, sustaining this channel. I really do appreciate it. And if you'd like to contribute to the channel yourself, help keep it going, you can head over to patreon.com/dailysolve or click the link in the description field underneath the video. And there, as a benefactor, you can get the Daily Solve Let's Check the Crosses official mug. But as a patron of any tier, you'll get access to all of the bonus videos that have gone up on the channel to date, as well as the new ones that go up each week. And I do really very much appreciate the contributions of everybody who's become a patron. So thank you if you have. And also thank you if you're a subscriber to the channel. Consider subscribing if you've not yet done so. And you can also join the Daily Solve Discord chat server in a link in the description field underneath the video. So yes, all of those things are available and much appreciated. And I also, I haven't had time this week to do the comments from the previous day's videos because I'm traveling and I'm on a very sort of compressed schedule. But I needed to mention one clue from yesterday, which was completely preposterous that I didn't fully understand, which was a clue about a criminal or a prisoner or something whose first four letters of their name were shared with the place of their imprisonment. And of course, I did not draw the connection between Al Capone and Alcatraz, despite being physically located in San Francisco this week and despite being the place where I was born, lived longer than anywhere else. So that was a bit ridiculous. Thank you to everybody who pointed it out. All right, let's get on to the crossword today. So this is a Friday crossword, a Friday themeless crossword constructed by Blake Slonaker. And this is Blake Slonaker's fourth puzzle for the New York Times, and it was edited, of course, as always, by Will Shorts. So let's start solving and see what sort of themeless clues we have in store for us today. Soda sans syrup. Well, it wouldn't be club soda because soda isn't the answer. Club soda, soda water, seltzer could be seltzer. Sparkling water is obviously much too long. Let's see if those crosses help. Google, say, to search on the internet. And city whose welcome sign features Mark Twain. Not sure. Do I know where Mark Twain is from or lived? Or not sure offhand. Needs for trick roping. Lassos, I suppose. Trick roping, I assume that's sort of riding around doing lasso tricks. It involves a forearm injection for short. I don't know. Is it going to be something like TB test or something? I don't know. I'm not actually sure that I know what sort of procedure or what's being referenced here. Actress Saldana, Zoe Saldana, I recognize. And the cautious seldom err or err, as someone pointed out recently as well. Confucius, that's a fair enough point. Gnarly, if something's gnarly in sort of, I don't know, 80s and 90s slang, I guess it's rad. It's cool. Potentially too much information. Elaborate detail? Yes, you could say, oh, that's elaborate detail. It's potentially too much information. I think that fits. And Manhattan thoroughfare named for New York's Dutch roots. Amsterdam, is it Avenue? Let's check the crosses and see if that's right. So New York was once New Amsterdam. Had. Ate. Yes, you had food, you ate it. Kurosawa film based on King Lear. That's the Kurosawa film Ron. And Lucy of Elementary. Well, Lucy Liu is another actress. So quite a few film references today. We have Lucy Liu, Akira Kurosawa, Zoe Saldana. So there we go. Estadio Azteca cheer. So this would be, I don't know, is it in Mexico maybe? But in any case, the cheer is probably Olay, famous football stadium cheer. And British singer-songwriter Arlo Parks. Arlo, okay, I don't think I know that figure, but there we go. Arlo is a name. A knoll could be a rise in a sort of geographical sense. Famously, the grassy knoll would be the sort of verdant rise from which Kennedy was said to have been shot. And then, Elmira? Is that city whose welcome sign features Mark Twain? That sort of sounds familiar. I'm not sure though, so I'm not going to put it in yet. Pop star with country roots, say. Pop star with country roots, something like small town hero or something. Not sure though. Is free. If she is free, she has time. This does look like Elmira, doesn't it? What about this? Oh, it is TB test. That's extraordinary. Given I don't know anything about TB tests, I'm pleased with myself that I guessed that based purely on the T. But I guess it must be the answer. So tuberculosis test. Okay, great. Oh, maybe this is a crossover. Pop star with country roots. I see. Um, when it said country roots, I thought it meant someone who sort of came from a small town in the country, but I think what they're talking about is country music. So a crossover artist, I guess. That sounds plausible. I could have a crossover hit that spans genres. It follows the clap of a clapperboard. Oh, a take. The clapperboard is the thing on a film set that they use to indicate the scene that's being filmed. Title for a prince could be Amir in numerous Arabic contexts. And what's limited in some plans? Oh, data in a phone mobile phone data plan could be limited. And if something goes on without end, it goes on forever. And a kite might be blowing in the wind. So there we go. This is coming together fairly quickly, I think. A delicacy could be what, a treat or not sure. Huh? Yeah. I I dig maybe, or I see, or I something. Name that sounds like two consecutive letters of the alphabet. Probably no, probably not a huge number of options in exactly four letters, but maybe more than one. Ellie, usually spelled with five letters. Don't know. Let's get at least one cross first. Courtly address. Not sir. Oh, sire. You could address royalty in a king's court, for instance, as sire. And Thomas Hardy, title character. Tess of the Dubervilles is a Thomas Hardy title character. So, Ari could sometimes be spelled. I'm not sure. I'm still not sure about this. What about these? Buildups in deltas. So delta, river delta could have buildup of silt, or in this case, buildups pluralized to silts. Drops, if you drop, I don't know, a letter or you drop a word, you omit the word. So drops, omits. And a bit of a sting, perhaps. Could be a sting from an animal, or it could be a sting metaphorically, or it could be a sting as in a sort of police raid or something, but I don't seem to see what any of those are. And one's doing the bunny hop or electric slide. Are those line dances specifically? I mean, they're definitely dances. So I think this ends with dancers, and then it looks like line maybe at the beginning, because I know that I know that the concept of line dancing exists, but I don't know if these are that. But I bet they are. Bit of a sting, perhaps. Venom. Right. Okay. Associate venom with bites, but maybe there are stinging animals with venom. Delicacy. Oh, still don't see this one. And yeah. So it does look. This looks like I see now that we have line dancers. Although this doesn't look like a name to me, really. I'm sure it is. I don't know. Maybe I'll delete this out. Delete this. Things for sticky fingers. Oh, moist towelettes. Wow. Okay. So little wipes, little sort of packaged paper uh, wipes you can use to clean your sticky fingers. All right, a water carrier, a mule maybe. Um, because sometimes water carrier is used metaphorically to refer to somebody who's kind of a low-level assistant or something, and mule can be used in the same way. So I'm wondering if that's, I mean, obviously a mule can literally carry water as well, but I'm wondering if it's referring to that other usage. Measures of performance. Not sure about that. Osobuco is Osobuco veal, I think, veal dish. And that's so? Is it, you might ask? Measures of performance. Maybe I have something wrong here. Oops, I spelled oso incorrectly, sorry. OSSO, and that would be bone, because it's served with the bone sort of in the middle of the plate. Um, but this doesn't look quite right, does it? Maybe this isn't mule. Oh, no, it's not, because measures of performance are assessments. There we go. So what is this? Water carrier. I'm not sure. Mother of Horus. Oh, who's the mother of Horus? This area is not immediately obvious to me consistently. Casual get together. A sesh, maybe? A session? Oh, is it Isis? Mother of Horus. That sounds right. That sounds right to me. Egyptian mythology. And water carrier, a maid or a. Oh, a main, a water main. Pipes. There we go. I was on completely the wrong track. Um, is that the answer? Dubious addendum to a snide remark. No, I wonder if it's something like sort of no offense intended or something to that effect. In other words, a dubious claim. Oh, nothing. I'm not sure. I bet it starts with nothing. Would blank. Would I? Not sure. Blank barnacle on whom Molly Bloom of Ulysses was based. Oh, interesting. Um, Nora? Not sure. Some gangbusters. G-men, government sort of federal agents, busting gang sort of activity. Fuzz could be the police as well, sort of related, I suppose, to G-men, but could also just be literal fuzz. What about this? Like the element osmium, dense, it must be a dense element. All right. And place for a relic could be an altar of a church or something. They're stitched by tailor birds. Oh, nests. Oh, so it's not that they sort of read the emphasis, I think, of the sentence incorrectly. So it's not they're stitched by tailor birds, but rather they're stitched by tailor birds. In other words, tailor birds stitch their nests rather than, I don't know, sort of accrue them. I'm guessing that's what that is, and that's why they're called tailor birds, because they're little avian tailors. Went nowhere, say, sat here or sat, something like that. Oh, nothing personal is the dubious addendum to a snide remark. So sort of similar to no offense or no offense intended. Nothing personal, you could say, which doesn't really necessarily help. I'm sorry to hear that. And proceeding without thinking. Hmm. It's in your bones. Marrow, bone marrow, sort of like in the bone presented in Osobuco. Went nowhere, say. Sat home? I don't think so. Sat home is sort of an odd way to say that. District, an area, a zone, and blank saltado stir-fried dish with sliced beef. Look at that. Several food dishes and several Hollywood sort of related things. Okay, what else can we solve here? First indication, perhaps. And or not in logic. Those are sort of basic in logic, and or not, or basic logical operators. What? Oh, and it does say or, so maybe it ends in operation, but it doesn't look like it does. Operator? Yes, okay, it could end in operator. Um, I'm not sure. Does that help with the fuzz? The fuzz could be, if it were the police, it could be the popo, which is slang for police. That's possible with that O there. And then a tach reading, a tachyometer or tachometer, I should say, indicates revolutions per minute in a vehicle, for instance. And wide shoe letters, right. So never actually engaged with this in buying shoes, but there are sort of shoe width sizing, and it has to do with ease, I think. So maybe a particularly wide shoe would be triple E, perhaps. And Spanish title abbreviation could be Siorna. What's the most likely in three letters with an R in the middle? Things that make hay. Meadows, maybe in a sort of farming context. And the question mark there indicates that this is a bit of punnery or wordplay, as opposed to referring to the more obvious meaning, which would be the English language idiom to make hay. In other words, to um, uh, sort of be productive, make productive use of something while it's available. I'm sorry to hear that. You could say so sad or too bad. There we go. Probably too bad. So what is this? Went nowhere. That time? Is that a phrase? Proceeding without thinking. And grayhead. Oh, elders, grayheads, gray-haired people. And then district. I don't know. Something here is not quite obvious to me. Flat. Oh, did I say first indication? That was strange. I read this entirely incorrectly. It's flat indication, perhaps. What does that mean? Okay, so I'm running out of steam here. Bit of design info, spec, a specification, and net weight units, grams or kilos or something. What, alley-oop, that's a sort of basketball maneuver. And an affliction could be an ill or a what? An affliction. I'm not sure. R&B trio whose name is an initialism. Is it TLC for Initialism of Tender Loving Care? Famous R&B trio. And flat indication. What does this mean? District. Too bad, strangely. Seems like it might be incorrect. Because it just everything seems to be strange crossing it. Oh, when I remove that, this looks like pressure. Flat indication, perhaps. What is that getting at? Sorry if that's very obvious to you. Um, I don't know. I'm not sure what that's referring to. Proceeding, oh, on auto, as in on autopilot, proceeding without thinking. You're just going through the motions in a rote fashion. And went nowhere. Oh, maybe it is sat home. Is that a phrase? Sat home? And then I'm sorry to hear that would be how sad. And a district could be a ward. Okay, yes. In sort of city zoning or planning or kind of political constituency divisions. Okay, so that's fine. That's fine. That's finally going somewhere. So, and or not in logic. Each one of these is what? Oh, I just can't see it. That's so frustrating. Net weight unit, grams, kilos, pounds, I guess, um, ounces. Flat indicator, flat indication, perhaps. What is this? Oh, a Boolean operator. I just sort of said logic because I was reading the clue, but this is specifically Boolean logic, um, because each one of these you apply it to one of two states, and then the outcome is one of two states, sort of on off or true false or what have you, and that's Boolean. In other words, just the two possibilities. Okay, Boolean operator. Net weight units. Okay, so this does look like pounds. And then an affliction. Oh, it's a woe, a woe. You have an affliction, you have a woe, you have something ailing you, either literally, physically or, I don't know, emotionally, I suppose. Flat indication, perhaps. Oh, low temperature? Low tire pressure. I see, a flat tire. Oh, that took me absolutely ages. Okay, so would I lie, you might ask? And then blank saltado, stir-fried dish with sliced beef. Oh, I'm still not sure about this. But this looks like it's probably Nora Barnacle because that's a name. So Loma saltado, I guess that's the answer. Okay. And then a delicacy. Why don't I see what this is? Oh, because it's not a delicacy as in an item of food. It's I really should have considered what else this word could be. It's approaching a situation with delicacy, with a in a delicate manner, with tact. There we go. So, yeah. Oh, I bet AB is AB a name? That sort of sounds like a slightly quaint name that you don't encounter much anymore. And then, yeah, would sort of in a sarcastic manner could be I bet. And there we go. All right, that was the crossword for Friday, March 24th, 2023. So there we go. Started off with a good, a pretty good run. It was relatively smooth through the first, I don't know, maybe two-thirds of the puzzle. And then this AB eluded me for quite some time. And then the last several rows of the grid, I just did not make good progress, did I? Quite a few very long answers. Look at that. Low tire pressure, Boolean operator, moist towelettes, elaborate detail, and Amsterdam Avenue. Some really long um, answers, and I guess I was helped by seeing some of these fairly quickly because, of course, those can be tricky, but often sometimes the long answers are easier because there are fewer possibilities. Where sometimes short words you could think of so many words that fit in just three or four letters, but those were very helpful in solving the grid more quickly. So let me know how you fared with this one. It's Friday puzzle. And that's that for today's themeless puzzle. There's nothing else there's no theme to unpack here, just those clues. Hope you enjoyed it. And I will be back, of course, tomorrow for the Saturday crossword, another themeless construction. Could be a trickier one than this. So join me for that. But until then, please do have an excellent remainder of your Friday. Take care.